Have y'all missed a really good hairdryer battle? Because let's do one right now. Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're brand new here, hi, my name's Courtney. I'm supposed to be your friendly local high school chemistry teacher. Instead, I like hanging out here on the internet with you guys, talking all things wavy curly hair science, and what is one of the most arduous tasks of taking care of your waves and curls. You guessed it, it's diffusing. Getting the curls dry is so hard. And I can already hear y'all going to the comments saying, well, Courtney, why don't you just air dry your hair? Wouldn't that be easier? Ma'am, it might be easier, but your hair stays wet for so much longer. There's some information coming out about how letting your hair stay damp or wet for longer than 3 hours can kind of cause some damage to the hair in the form of hygral fatigue. Think pruny fingers. You know, when you soak in the bathtub too long, your fingers turn pruny. Guess what? Your hair can do the same thing if it stays wet for too terribly long. Also, when we style our hair wavy curly, we tend to add things like foam or mousse or gel or cream or leave-in conditioner. And when we add those things to our hair, it makes it take even longer for it to fully air dry. So you know what? For the sake of our sanity and our hair health, diffusing is a really great idea. However, finding a really high quality blow dryer these days can be really tricky. There's so much information out there. You can spend $450 if you want, or let's see how this $99 hairdryer stacks up against a Dyson. I have absolutely done videos like this in the past here on my channel. If you remember these kinds of videos, please let me know in the comments down below, or give this video a thumbs up, because I would be very impressed if you have been hanging out with me on the internet for that long. If you just found me, hi friend, why don't we hang out some more? Please feel free to go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell, because I'd love to get to hang out with you again sometime here on my channel. Also, for those of you who maybe have watched one or two of my videos, what do y'all think of the new mic? How's the audio? Do we like this audio? I'm on the fence about it, but I used it in a recent video and I got some really good feedback on the sound of this mic. Anyway, nerdy filming things. Oh, P.S. I'm also now your friendly local curly hair specialist in my hometown of Abilene, Texas. If you'd like to come see me and sit in my chair and get a really awesome wavy curly haircut, feel free to check out the links in the description down below. You know, just for funsies, you don't have to, but it's an option. If you can't come see me in person, it's too long of a drive, guess what? I offer in-person, sort of, virtually, online curl coaching sessions where you and I can sit down face-to-face via Google Meets and discuss all of your wavy curly hair frustrations and problem solve and find solutions that are specific to you. All right, enough jibber jabber. Let's talk about the Wavytalk Turbo Blow Pro hair dryer. I'm not sure how I feel about that name, but isn't this so cute? And you know what? I can appreciate that a lot of brands noticed that the design of Dyson was appealing to us because, you know, it's not so big and bulky. Here is a direct side-by-side comparison of the shapes of these. You can see that we can see through the Dyson. You cannot see through the Wavytalk dryer, but honestly, we've still got the same shape. As for weight, they feel identical in my hand. If anything, the Dyson feels heavier. P.S. This is the professional Dyson hairdryer version, like even a step up from the regular Dyson. This is the professional one. So I guess it's 550 bucks instead of 450. But anyway, this one has this insanely long cord, and the cord is really heavy. The Wavytalk's cord is also extremely long. It's actually plugged in behind y'all, and it's actually further away from me than the Dyson. So we've got a really nice long cord. Don't think you're gonna be struggling with the cord length, but for whatever reason, the cord's not nearly as heavy. So this actually feels a little bit easier to maneuver around in my hand than this one. This one's fine, this is great. We all love the Dyson's, you know, lightweight, balanced feel, but I can kind of feel that cord. Whereas this one, I don't necessarily feel that as much. We have on the Dyson, the on-off switch. That was loud. We have an on-off switch, and you can change the speed of the fan by pressing this button. There are 3 fan speed settings, and there are technically 4 heat settings. It's off, 1 heat, 2 heat, 3 heat is your options there. And a cold shot button. The air intake on the Dyson is down here. Oh my goodness. There we go. Oh, I was manhandling it. I'm sorry. I do like that this is a magnetic attachment right there. That's kind of fun. That feels fancy. But there are the general features of the Dyson. Oh, also, magnetic attachments. Magnetic attachments here for, you know, the diffuser. The Wavytalk has 3 different fan speed settings here, and you can pick how fast it goes. That was loud too. Not terribly loud, but you get the idea. You can change the temperature by clicking this button, and you have 4 heat settings here. It is cycles through all the different heat settings. That's actually really cool. Then you have cold, warm, and hot. So 4 different heat settings there. You also have a cold shot. And wouldn't you know it, Wavytalk has magnetic attachments too. They did not have magnetic attachments on the air intake like the Dyson, but that doesn't bug me. I don't feel like that's necessary. The Wavytalk also has an air intake here as well. So 1 air intake here and an air intake here. Now, let's see just how loud each of these are, because that can be a big factor in whether or not you like a hairdryer. And because I'm Courtney, I downloaded a decibel meter on my phone so that we could see just how loud each of these are. So I'm going to be as fair as I possibly can, and I'm gonna measure these on the highest fan speed that both hairdryers have to offer. That topped out at 87-ish. So now let's check the Wavytalk Turbo Blow Pro. Exactly the same loudness level. I was trying to make sure and hold it equal distance for both of them. 87 on both of those dryers. As for the pitch, let's listen to the differences in the pitch. Okay. In my personal opinion, the Wavytalk sounds less annoying. There is something about the Dyson that has this extremely high-pitched whine to it that kind of makes my ears ring after a little bit. I am not hearing that same high-pitched whine in the Wavytalk dryer. I do hear the air intake more because Dyson doesn't have one, so I'm definitely hearing like a sucking sound from right here, but not that high-pitched whine. Also, are you one of those people that can hear it when somebody turns on a TV? I feel like this is the weirdest thing to say. Back when we were in school, I'm old enough that when we saw the TV cart come into class, I was really excited because it meant we got to watch something instead of do schoolwork. And when they would turn on those TVs, there would be such a high-pitched ring to that TV, it would hurt my ears. That's what this sounds like to me. That's reminiscent of that. Okay, now let's see the heat differences between the 2 dryers. So I'm gonna turn each dryer up to its highest heat setting, because honestly, the intermediate heats I'm not too concerned about. It's the highest temperature that makes me the most nervous because I don't want to be causing any heat damage to my curls. I do know that Dyson checks the temperature of There's like a mechanism in here that checks the temperature multiple times per second, like hundreds of times per second. I am not seeing anything specific on the Wavytalk website talking about the number of times per second they measure the temperature in this bad boy, but I know that that's something that Dyson's proud of, so that's why I mentioned it. I have a handy dandy meat thermometer right here. So this is our starting room temperature. And let's just see how hot this thing gets. Ow. It's starting to burn my hand. Oh, well up to 220. Like I maxed out that bad boy. Why am I touching it while it's hot? That feels very unintelligent. I got it all the way up to 220 on the highest heat setting, and my hand hurts. My hand feels a little burned. As you can see, I was really doing my best to show you. This was not touching. I'm just holding it in front of the diffuser. I'm not even holding it like all the way into the diffuser where your curls would be. I'm just holding it there, and it got up to 220 degrees. That was so hot. I'm gonna see if I can cool down this thermometer back down to our room temperature so that we have a fair comparison. You know what? That's pretty close. It's still slightly higher than when we started, but anyway, okay. Okay. That appears to have maxed out close-ish to 170. I don't see it going up anymore when I'm looking in the mirror. Like it was increasing maybe, so like maybe if I held it there for a few more minutes, it would have gotten up hotter, but I feel like I held this there much shorter period of time and it got so much hotter. Now for the big question. How fast do each of these dryers dry my hair? Let's put them to the test side by side and see exactly which one wins. So for the sake of wavy curly hair science, I will keep all the variables for both of these wash days the exact same. Which shampoo I use, which conditioner I use, how much conditioner I use, how I apply that conditioner to my hair and finger detangle my hair first. Then taking a detangling brush and gently detangling my hair while using that conditioner. Then thoroughly rinsing all that conditioner out while scrubbing my scalp with the pads of my fingers. Then I'm going to take exactly 5 sprays of leave-in conditioner in my hand and apply that to my hair, brush that through. Then I'm going to organize my curl clumps the exact same way on both wash days. P.S. This is something I like to call my swing curl clump method. It's the perfect combination of a brush styling routine with minimal effort. I hate upright brush styling, if I'm being honest. Yes, you can do it and get some stellar results, but honestly, I'm too lazy for that. So this brush styling technique is the best of both worlds for me. So now that my curl clumps are nice and organized, I'm going to take the exact same number of pumps of foam and apply it exactly the same to my hair by glazing it over the back of my head up underneath and scrunching and pulsing and pulsing and scrunching that in. Then I'm going to take the exact same amount of gel on both sides. Yes, I measured it with a teaspoon measure because this gel did not come with a pump. So I'm going to take 1 full teaspoon, glaze that over and scrunch that in on both wash days the exact same way. Then I'm going to plop my hair for the exact same amount of time. I'm going to take off my plop and then I'm going to micro plop my hair one more time before I pick up each of these dryers. This micro plop is just one more added step of insurance that my curl clumps are organized and not weighed down by the weight of the water. Then I'm going to put each of the dryers on my counter. I'm going to start the timer on both wash days, and then I'm going to do some hammock diffusing to start. This is where I scoop up my curls with my microfiber towel and I just kind of hover and sway in front of the dryer as it sits on my counter for a few minutes, turn my head to the side, kind of do the side, turn my head to the other side, kind of do that. Then I'll go ahead and stand up, and still using the towel to scoop my curls, I will hover diffuse on both sides and upside down and kind of all around a little bit. And then once I've done that and my cast is beginning to set, I'll set the towel to the side and I will use my hand to gently lift my curls up to continue hover diffusing. Once I feel like my hair has gotten 80% dry with hover diffusing, I'll go in and I'll start pixie diffusing the exact same on both wash days. And I will pixie diffuse my little heart out until the hair is 90% dry. Here is how long both dryers took. And this honestly is a little bit subjective, but I have been doing this for so long, I can feel exactly when my hair hits the right sweet spot. If I diffuse my hair slightly too far, I start to get tons of frizz. My hair is mostly in a really good cast and I let it finish air drying the rest of the way. Yes, the Wavytalk dryer got my hair drier faster than the Dyson hair dryer. And if I'm being honest, on both wash days, I wandered around my house and let my hair finish air drying in the cast, and my hair air dried faster from the Wavytalk one than it did with the Dyson. When I scrunched out the crunch and fluffed my hair really, really well to reveal the final wash day results of both of these wash days, my hair was still a little bit damp with the Dyson dryer. I am still so shocked and blown away by this Wavytalk hair dryer. It's $99. It has magnetic attachments. It has the same number of fan speed settings. It's got the same number of heat settings. I actually really love that cycling one. It kind of will warm up on you and then it'll cool down and then it'll warm back up on you. You get the negative ion technology. It has great fan speed. It can really move some air. I'm impressed. I am thoroughly impressed with this. I wasn't honestly expecting that. I was expecting it to at least dry my hair as fast as the Dyson. The Dyson is known for being powerful and getting your hair drier faster. But honestly, there was no difference between how the wash days turned out. The amount of frizz on both of the wash days was at least equal. I didn't feel noticeably that one was frizzier than the other. If you noticed a difference between the outcome of the wash days, let me know in the comments down below. That is it, guys, for this video. Are there any details or points of comparison between these two dryers that you wish I would have hit more? Or was this fun hanging out and checking the decibels on the dryer and the actual temperature in real time from like a layman in her own bathroom? I'm not a scientist in a lab running these tests. This is just me in my bathroom checking these things. So there you go, guys. As always, I sure hope you found this video helpful. Yes, it was sponsored by Wavytalk, but I never work with brands that don't have products that I absolutely love. I have worked with Wavytalk in the past, and I have been playing around with this dryer behind the scenes just to see exactly how it performs. It performed really, really well. And this is the honest, most fairest side-by-side comparison that I could possibly do between one of the most expensive hair dryers on the market versus a $99 hair dryer. Please keep in mind that sponsorships allow me to continue showing up here on the internet to help you guys out, to bring you the most fair, honest comparisons that I possibly can. So thank you so much for being understanding, and thank you so much, Wavytalk, for being willing to work with me on this video. As always, I sure hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!